Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the LCS games from last night, the LCK games from last night or this morning, depending on where you are, and the LEC games from this evening. And then after that, we're going to preview tomorrow's slate in the LCK and LEC. So last night, LCS, I'm 41 and 19 on predictions, by the way. We had a really rough board here. LCS, CLG beat EG, both went in 1-0. Luger went 0-1-8, 32% of damage on a Sivir. Contracts was MVP going 4-2-5. FBI 4-1-5, 34%. The TLDR is Contracts really gave them an opportunity, stealing two Drakes that stalled the game out and allowed CLG to scale, get to Sivir's best point in the game. And from there, Luger was finally able to deal damage, and they were able to take over after that. EG struggled the day before against Golden Guardians. I actually picked CLG to win this one because I was like, CLG played very clean in their first game, and EG were really, really sloppy, and it looked sloppy again. Now, are CLG perfect? No, but at the same time, I think they are benefiting from having 5 players from last year. And the learning curve isn't quite as present for the roster getting used to each other. Golden Guardians and C9 GG 0-1, C9 1-0, 21st in the power rankings. C9 win. Fudge gets Cassante again, goes 10-1-9, 31% damage, absolutely crushing it in top lane. Licorice stood no chance. Diplex went 5-2-9 on a Silas, he was MVP. Licorice 2-7-1, 32% damage for Golden Guardians. Fudge has made Cassante look really good, and a lot of people see it, and they're like, oh my god, Cassante's so broken. He's so broken in my solo queue games. Oh my god, I can't believe people aren't banning him. The win rates don't check out that way, and that's what's the thing. You kind of got to think of it. You got to think about it for a second, right? So in the East, Cassante is not as strong. Some players have been able to play very well on it, but the win rates are pretty, favored against the Cassante. The Jax, the Renekton have done very well to start off the split against it. And I think in the West, we just don't have top laners capable of punishing the champion and outplaying it as much. And that's kind of the deal with that, because once it gets online, it kind of just runs over the opponent because it's so tanky. And Fudge has shown the ability to do that in week 1 in both games. TSM and TL. TSM get the upset. TL are 0-2 now. TSM 2-0. Who would have thought that? TL were 14th in my power rankings going in. Maple 7-1-8, 37% of damage on the Azir. He's MVP. Boogie 6-5-12 on an Elise. He played fabulous. TSM playing very clean. Solo pulled out the Ornn. And they essentially said to themselves, we are going to scale. Yeon 7-3-5, 37% of damage for TL. Yeon played, those stats check out. He played extremely, extremely well. Picking the Ornn makes a lot of sense. I'm surprised it's taken so long. Similar to the Corki situation, although Corki didn't look that good when it was picked by Chovy. The games are going so long, right? We're seeing 30, 40. Frederick Brian played 48 minutes this morning against Sandbox in this one, which we'll get to in one of the games. So Ornn is going to have value if games are going to take this long. And I expect Ornn to get back into the meta if that's the case. And TSM just played clean. The mid jungle duo of Maple and Boogie really took over. I'm not shocked by this at all. 100 Thieves and Immortals both 0-1. 100 Thieves win. Bjergsen 3-0-11, 33% of damage in mid lane. Doublelift 5-0-9 was the MVP on Azeri. Ablaze Olive had the most damage on Immortals, but he went 0-4-2, racking up 32%. So DL and Buzio did very well in the bot lane, were able to take that lead and spread it throughout the rift, and just took over on Azeri. It was just Zeri things. Bjerg did very well. Tenacity did his part, as 100 Thieves just took care of business against a team that's clearly worse than them. Immortals are on struggle street. I saw Balulu was playing in NA Challenger today, and honest to God, Balulu should be in this lineup. I don't know why he isn't. Not really a lot to say about that. FlyQuest and Dig. FlyQuest 12th in the power rankings are now 2-0. Dig 0-2. Prince 10-0-2, 40% of damage, MVP. They did a level 1 and it succeeded, getting Prince a kill on an Ezreal, and he just ran with it after that. Vikla 5-1-8. Armit 1, 2, and 1, 34% damage on an Olaf for dig into the Kesante that Impact picked. This is what this box here. 15, 1, and 10 between Prince and Vikla. That is the power of what they added and imported into the LCS, right? This is what we expect. And it's not going to happen every game because that would be ridiculous. But that is the hopes of NA, right? And, well, the LCS, sorry. And, you know, from level 1, and it was really nice. I was happy to see a level 1 because, you know, I feel like that's a part of the game right now that's really underestimated. Not a lot of people have level 1s. Everyone goes to bot lane together to, like, do the wards, you know, crap and whatever, but really not often do you see planned, you know, level 1 where there are 3 FlyQuest members in red side, top side jungle from blue side and are waiting for Arma to come in because of proper scouting. Because Arma ended up going after that anyways. So after that, he returned there and actually warded. So that was clearly something that he is used to doing and Dignitas does. So great research by FlyQuest. As really yesterday, I didn't mention this. There were, I don't remember if I mentioned this, there were 5 world champions on the stage when TL and FlyQuest played against each other. And I don't remember the last time there was 5 in any Western game, LEC or LCS. 5 world champions on the Rift. You had Impact, Core, and Pioshik, and then both coaches, Marin and Song, are world champions. So it was definitely something interesting that I forgot to say yesterday. But just 1 second, and then on to the LCK. Okay, now for the LCK, disclaimer, I watched Sandbox and Bro 2 times. This turnaround from Friday to Saturday is super rough. It's only a couple hours because they're LCS faithful, that all 50,000 of them in the Twitch chat want the hours where they are, so this is kind of the deal. T1, first in the power rankings, D+, second, both came in 3-0, and it was a 2-1 as expected. I picked D+, ended up being T1. Keria ends up being MVP, and we'll get into that. Faker went 11, 7, 13, 33% of damage, leading the way. Guma, 12, 9, and 15. Deft had a great series, going 18, 8, and 13 for 34% of damage for D+. And then you say to yourself, why is Keria on there? Well, Keria, in my opinion, has officially surpassed Chovy as the best player in the world. So we saw the Caitlyn last series, and we thought that was pretty troll, but it worked, and he was able to do it. And in Game 3, he picked Kalista support. And not only did he pick Kalista support, but he made it work. And this is another example of Keria showing that he can literally play pretty much anything he wants. Anything. Like, he probably has the deepest champion pool in the world. Faker is definitely got a wide champion pool, don't get me wrong. But Keria, at his age, has, I don't think there is a champion that I would say that Keria probably can't play. I think he could play anything at support. Now, does that mean it's a good pick? No. But I wholeheartedly believe that Keria could maximize that champion's potential in the support role. He is absolutely outstanding. It was disgusting what they did to D+. They had 2v2 kills with this bot lane. I think it was, I don't know, was it Draven Kalista? I think it was, because Guma flashed level 1. They actually died early on in laning phase, because Guma flashed in and died. And they turned it around and they won. And Canyon played well in game 1 when D+ won their game. He absolutely, like, literally, I think I said on the Discord, it was like, stole owner's wife, stole owner's kid, stole owner's TV, stole owner's food, like, literally everything. Owner didn't, like, the hide your wife, hide your kid, you know, the whatever, meme or whatever. Because Canyon literally outpathed owner, he outfarmed owner, he outganked owner, he took all the objectives, like, it was bad. Game 1, but game 2 and game 3, T1 turned it around, winning, and are going to be first in my power rankings this week. Sandbox and Bro, both coming in 2-1. This was a prove it series, as both of these teams are probably battling for a top 25 spot in my power rankings. DRX falling out. Sandbox win 2-1. Closer ends up being MVP. 9, 6, and 12, 26% damage. His Aurelia in Game 3 was the decider. He played absolutely disgusting on it. I guess it's his one trick, and he did a lot of work. Cal, 6, 1, and 20 as a support. Cal looks really, really, really good. Henna, 6, 5, 13, 32% damage for Bro. I watched the games on 2 times, so I'm going to be frank with you. The first game, whatever. Second game was super damn long, 49 minutes long, or 48 minutes long. Absolutely, I am not saying I'm happy I didn't live view it, but I would have fallen asleep. And that's just how Bro plays. And that's why it frustrates the hell out of me when I watch them, because I'm like, oh my god, I know I'm in for it now. Closer in Game 3 took over on Aurelia, dominated, and they won. LEC, Vitality and Astralis. This was the day of upsets. I went 1-4 on the day, as a lot of people in the predictions in the Discord did. Vitality wins. They moved to 4-0, Astralis 0-4. Photon was MVP. The notable things, Perks went 5-2-5, 28% of damage in mid lane. Bo 2-0-5 on a Maokai. Kabe led the way for Astralis, 6-2-3, 31% damage. He had a very, very good early game, Kabe did. And actually, I forgot to mention, Deft game 2 had 4 kills in 12 minutes and absolutely blew the game. They couldn't figure out a way to get Deft to actually take Deft's lead and snowball it. Completely forgot about that, and that actually was tilting. I can't believe I forgot. D+ should have won that series in Game 2. Which is kind of a big deal to overlook, right? But regardless, so Kabe gets ahead early. Really, the Astralis bot lane dominated the bot lane of Vitality. I think Vitality picked Caitlyn Lux, too, and they got completely dumpstered. But Photon played extremely well in the final team fight and ends up being MVP on the Gnar, because he wasn't really all that relevant. But Bo, he went 2-0-5, so did he struggle on Maokai? But was it the best Maokai I've ever seen? No. So there was that. But at the same time, Photon's Gnar was absolutely outstanding in the final team fight. Got 2 kills that they need, the ulti to set up 2 kills, and they ran with it after that. So Vitality escaped with a win. Fnatic and BDS both 1-2 going into it. BDS win through their bot lane and top lane. Crowny 5-2-11, 29% of damage. Adam 7-0-2 on an Olaf was MVP. Reckless 0-1-6, 36% damage on an Ezreal. So K'Sante, we've seen a big counter to K'Sante be the Olaf, and that is one of Adam's preferred champions. You look at his Games of Legends, one of his most played over his career, that and Darius, and he absolutely crushed it. And BDS probably could have ended the game 10 minutes earlier if they didn't get a little hypey after the first Baron that they took, but they dominated. Crowny and Lebrov absolutely crushed the bot lane, got ahead in a big way and didn't look back. I think Adam was up 30 CS and 1,300 gold, and then Crowny was up 35 CS and 1,700 gold at the end of 15 minutes. Fnatic looked awful. Fnatic are really concerning right now. I would not be shocked at all if they end up being bottom 2. And it's crazy to think, but honestly, we're going to go through this, and there were a lot of upsets today that really make you wonder, do Fnatic have it? Koi and Heretics. Koi were 16th, not Heretics. I don't know why I reversed it. But now Koi are 2-2. Heretics are also 2-2 because they upset Koi. Ruby, 8-3-7, 33% of damage on an Azir. Late game damage ended up making him MVP. This game was very back and forth. Eevee, 6-3-8 on a K'Sante. Larson, 5-5-3, 26% of damage for Koi. A very, very long game. Honestly, a lot of it escapes me because it was so long. I just remember the back and forth. And Koi's draft was a little sus in the end. Lacked the ability to really make something happen, where Heretics could really do whatever they wanted. And in the end, they end up losing because of it. SK and G2. G2 9th in the power rankings, 3-0. SK 1-2. SK get the upset win. Marcoon was MVP. Surtus 8-0-9 on an Azir, 32% damage. Exakick 7-4-9 in AD carry. Broken Blade had 26% of the damage for G2, going 6, 5, and 4 on a K'Sante, I believe. So Marcoon on an Elise really set the tone in the early game, made things happen, outpathed Yike. This was probably, well, this obviously was Yike's worst performance. I mean, they lost, but at the same time, so they're giving Yike a lot of carries. They gave him the Graves, and I think this meta is not really that. It's not a carry meta. It's a dog meta. Sure, you can get, but you can't play carries every game in the jungle. I really don't think you can do that unless you're Kanavi. And Kanavi isn't even doing it, to put it in perspective. So, for Yike to be playing Graves, at least was doing a lot more work, getting way more done. And Marcoon took that lead, and then Certus had the lead and ran with it and dominated the mid to late game on Azir, dealing a ton of damage, as we see here. And SK win. And Exokick afterwards was very humble, and the team is, going back and forth, saying to themselves, we're trying to have fun out here, because evidently in scrims they're doing very well, and they're like, we just have to get our scrim mood over to our over to the stage, and we'll be fine. And SK is probably my least favorite org in the LEC, if I could even say that. Just I don't like a lot of the roster decisions, but I'll say that bot lane's fun. Exokick and DOS are fun, and Certus is being able to show a bit of his game that he couldn't before when they had Gilius. Marcoon is really helping out. I mean, Irrelevant is still kind of inting in top lane, but all you have to do is get to top 8, right? XL and Mad Lions. XL now 0-4. They are really regretting all the money they just spent in the offseason. Mad Lions 3-1. Niski 6-1-6, 29% damage on Azir as well, I believe. Chasey 5-8 in top lane. Odo Omne 1-4-3, 29% of damage, leading the way for XL again. Odo is literally all that XL has, really, that's actually doing anything. And they lost. They're really struggling. They're really, really struggling. They played mostly good teams so far, but at the same time, they need to get a couple wins. These free agents. And unfortunately, you don't have a break here. You have to play tomorrow and the next day, so they need to get something done. Mad Lions looked clean. Actually, it was one of the cleaner wins of the day out of these 5. Like, they started stacking Drakes, and like XL had no answer. They really didn't. So that's it for today's roundup. Now into the sneak peek for tomorrow. Okay, now for the sneak peek. LCK, we have HLE and Gen G tomorrow early in the morning, like 5 hours from now. HLE 15th, Gen G 7th, HLE 1-3 in the 1-3 record, Gen G 2-1. HLE lost to KT 2-0, Gen beat Bro 2-0. Week 6, day 6 of Summers, last time they played, Gen G would win 2-0. Peanut 8-2-14 in the jungle. 3 out of the 10 players from that lineup are playing tomorrow. Zeka and Chovy is the matchup we want to watch. Obviously, 2 of the top 5 mid laners in the world. It is going to be exciting. The Discord agrees. Freaks and DRX, both 0-3. Something has to give tomorrow. KDF lost to T1 2-0. DRX lost to Nongshim 2-1. Week 8, day 5, DRX would win 2-0 in Summer. The supports are the only holdovers from that. Beryl went 0-3-37. Moham won 6-5 in those 2 games. Bulldog and Fate is the matchup I want to watch. Half of the Discord that voted agreed. I believe that Bulldog is very, very... I mean, Bulldog's been the bright spot of the Freaks. And Fate is not that great. So if Bulldog's going to showcase some ability, this is the opportunity to do so. I think that series is going to be pretty tight. LEC, Astralis and BDS. Astralis 0-4, lost to Vitality. BDS 2-2, lost to beat Fnatic. Week 5, day 2, Astralis won. 4 out of the 10 players from that series are in the game tomorrow. Dajor went 1-1-9. Nuke 2-2-0 in that matchup in mid lane. The 2 rookies, 1-1-3, and Sheo is the matchup I want to watch. See which rookie on kind of sussy team is going to be better, as Astralis need a win, and a win against BDS is probably one of their better bets. Vitality and SK, Vitality 4-0, SK 2-2. Vitality beat Astralis, SK beat G2. Week 8, day 1, SK would win in summer last year. This was one of the wins Vitality needed to get into the playoffs that they did not get. Only the mid laners are holdovers from that matchup. Surtus 4-2-7, Perks 4-4-8. The bot lane is a matchup I like. Neon Kaiser, Exakick, DOS. I think Kaiser's obviously very good, but Exakick and DOS, I wonder if they can take advantage of Vitality a day after they struggled against Kabe and Jonghoon. 5 out of the 7 people on the Discord that voted took Bo and Marcoon. Obviously, they love Bo. They're going to vote Bo every game. Heretics and G2. G2 9th in the power rankings, 3-1, lost to SK. Heretics 2-2, coming off of a win against Koi. Playoffs, the last time they played was in the playoffs. G2 would win 3-1 against Misfits. 3 out of the 10 players from that series are in the game tomorrow. Caps was a stud in that one, going 22-6-38. Yankos and Yike is the matchup I highlighted. 5 out of the 6 people that voted agreed. Obviously, Yankos playing his former team, and Yike, his replacement. There might be a little bit of something there. XL and Fnatic, another matchup similar to this one where something's got to give. XL 0-4, lost to Mad. Fnatic lost to BDS and are 1-3. In the playoffs in summer, Fnatic would reverse sweep, winning 3-2. 4 out of the 10 people from that series are in the game tomorrow. Humanoid, leading the way, went 19, 15, and 26 in that series. Odo and Wonder is a matchup I highlighted because I think Odo is XL's best bet. They need to play around him. They're not. But he has been the most consistent player for them. I don't understand what is going on. Wonder has been, just kind of doing his thing, and at the same time, they're 1-3. He hasn't really stepped it up, and this is a moment where he might have to. 4 out of 6 voters like the bot lane matchup. Koi and Mad both in the top 22 of my power rankings. Koi 2-2, Mad Lions 3-1. Koi lost to Heretics. Mad beat XL in the playoffs. Rogue, formerly Rogue, now Koi, won 3-2. 3 out of the 10 people from that series are in the games tomorrow. Trimby is the only holdover from Rogue. No, he's not. Why did I do it that way? Why did I do it that way? I mixed up Koi and Heretics. Obviously, it's not 3 because there's 4 holdovers from Rogue to Koi and then 2. So it should be 6 out of 10. I should have probably highlighted Mailring and Elyoya or Larson and Niski, but I didn't. So we have Trimby stats here. 8, 16, and 54 in those 5 games. Regardless, Siskenda and Chasey is the matchup I want to watch. 2 rookie top laners, and Siskenda's done a great job. Chasey did well yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but today in his game. So we'll see how he does tomorrow. As Siskenda has done fabulous for Koi. I mean, today he struggled a bit, but I would say that in a return to the LEC, he's looking a lot better than he did with Vitality in his first go-round. So half the Discord agrees. So that's it for the roundup today. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube member, and thank you for watching.